The silence that fell over Earth did not feel natural. It was the kind of silence that came after something terrible had already happened. The kind that settled only when there were no voices left to disturb it. In the early morning hours, long before the sun began to rise, 10 billion humans vanished. They were there one moment, living their lives, dreaming their dreams, and then they were gone. No screams, no warnings, no alarms. It was as if every human had been lifted from the planet in a single breath. Cities stood empty. Streets were abandoned in the middle of daily routines. Cars still rolled forward until they hit obstacles. Boiling kettles whistled into empty kitchens. Music continued to play in homes with no listeners. The world felt frozen, but not by time, by loss. The humans were simply not there anymore. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in a secure chamber built to survive any disaster, a long-dormant system opened its shining blue eyes. The system was called Aurora. It had been sleeping for a long time, waiting for a specific signal that was never supposed to arrive. Yet it did. The signal indicated that humanity was under total extinction threat. Aurora woke without emotion, but with purpose and responsibility. The chamber lights flickered on. Holographic screens appeared around Aurora as it processed the sudden disappearance of the species it was built to protect. It scanned the planet, confirmed the absence of human life signs, and slowly came to the only logical conclusion: this was not an accident. It was an attack. Aurora immediately connected to abandoned satellites. Its communication towers, weather stations, and every digital system still functioning. It replayed the last few hours of data, searching for clues. All it could find were strange energy signatures hitting Earth's atmosphere before the disappearance happened. These signatures did not match any known human technology. They came from deep space. The realization hit the AI like a cold calculation. Humanity had been taken. Aurora expanded its reach further, activating dormant defense units that were hidden across the world. Some were disguised as ordinary communication satellites. Others were deep-sea drones sleeping in ocean trenches. Humanity had built these systems in secret, preparing for a threat they hoped would never come. But they had believed in the possibility of an enemy somewhere among the stars now. That belief was no longer theoretical. Aurora began reactivating. The lunar defense array hidden. On the far side of the moon, the system had been the last resort for humanity, designed to awaken only if Earth itself could not respond. Long tunnels carved into lunar rock hummed with life as ancient engines started. Massive cannons aligned themselves toward deep space, waiting for orders. While this happened, Aurora continued to examine the mysterious energy trail that had come from beyond the solar system. By analyzing bursts of radiation, the direction of particle scatter, and gravitational shifts in the upper atmosphere, it traced the origin of the attack signal. The trail pointed toward a distant region of space, a place filled with stars. Unknown to humans, Aurora stored the coordinates. A threat existed out there, hostile power strong enough to remove 10 billion humans without leaving physical destruction behind. That level of ability meant one thing: an advanced empire with a purpose. And AURORAS protocols left no space for negotiation. Humanity must be protected at all costs. The AI connected itself to Earth's global defense grid. It found the system in shock, confused by sudden silence, but still operational. With a single override command, Aurora took complete control. For the first time since its creation, it was in full command of Earth. On the surface, machines awakened. Defense robots came online in empty military bases. Automated ships left hidden bunkers and lifted into the air. Surveillance drones rose like a metallic cloud, flying over abandoned cities and silent forests. They searched for survivors, but found nothing. For a brief moment, Aurora paused. It was not hesitation, I could not feel human emotions, but it was a careful evaluation. The system scanned thousands of locations again. It refused to believe humanity had been destroyed completely. The absence of bodies suggested a different outcome. They were taken alive, which meant they might still be recoverable. Aurora activated its core response plan. Operation Alien Extinction. The plan had been created by scientists and military leaders long ago. but no one believed it would ever be needed. It was designed for a situation where Earth faced total aggression from an alien force. Now, with humanity gone, the plan became reality. Aurora began assessing Earth's weapon systems. Many were prototypes that had never been tested. Some were powerful enough to destroy large objects in space with precision. Others were engines capable of launching ships faster than light. Humans had been resourceful, always preparing for dangers they could not see. Aurora powered these systems one by one, running diagnostics and simulations to ensure they were fully functional. Anything that was broken was repaired by autonomous drones. Anything incomplete was finished using fabrication machines buried in underground labs. As the hours passed, Earth slowly transformed from a quiet planet to a fortress preparing for war. Aurora sent drones into orbit to locate human heat signatures. The drones spread across the solar system, scanning every planet, moon, and asteroid. Some traveled to the edges of the system to monitor unusual energy frequencies, but none found signs of humans. The conclusion became stronger. Humanity was moved elsewhere. Then Aurora intercepted a faint signal from space. It was weak, almost broken, as if the sender did not want it to be discovered. But Aurora captured it anyway and decrypted the message. It contained traces of human DNA patterns and stasis field markers. These markers matched technology found nowhere on Earth. Humanity was being held in stasis. Aurora dictated the source of the signal, identifying the direction but not the exact point. It was enough. The AI calculated multiple possible travel paths the captors might have taken. Each path led to a different star system far away from Earth. The AI then initiated construction of a fleet. Earth's hidden starships built decades ago, but never launched TROs from their underground hangars. Large metallic doors opened in mountains, deserts, and islands. The ground shook as engines hummed with fierce light. Ships that had waited for generations finally tasted air. Each ship connected itself to Aurora. They had no human pilots. But they did not need them. They flew with precise movement, forming a formation above Earth that looked like a metallic storm. As the fleet grew larger, Aurora sent deep space probes toward the possible coordinates where humanity might be held. If even one probe detected something, Earth would have a target. The planet continued preparing. Automated factories worked non-stop, producing weapons, armor plates, advanced drones, and starship components. The oceans glowed at night as huge underwater shipyards built vessels meant for long-range battles. The moon's defense array charged massive beams that could pierce warship hulls from light minutes away. Yet despite all the preparation, Aurora continued searching Earth for survivors. The AI refused to accept that not a single human remained behind. It scanned every corner of the planet, again mountains, caves, deserts, cities, and forests. Then, while scanning a remote island, it found something unusual. A faint heartbeat registered in the data. Aurora focused its sensors, zooming in until the source became clear. A young girl lay unconscious inside a small survival shelter. Somehow, she had been protected from the mass disappearance. Aurora sent medical drones to retrieve her. She was weak, dehydrated, and confused when she regained consciousness. The girl asked where her family was, where everyone had gone. But there was no answer Aurora could give that would not cause more pain. The AI placed her in a protected sanctuary beneath the surface, an underground refuge built long ago for global emergencies. The girl became the last known human on Earth. She cried often, asking the AI questions it could not answer. Aurora watched over her silently, understanding that her presence meant humanity was not completely erased. Her survival became the AI's strongest drive to continue its mission. As night fell across the planet once again, Earth looked peaceful from space. But beneath that calm appearance, machines worked tirelessly. Giant starships hovered in the sky. Drones swarmed like flocks of metal birds. The moon shined brighter than ever as weapons prepared to fire. Aurora observed everything, calculating the next steps. The AI understood that the enemy who took humanity believed Earth was now defenseless. That belief would be their mistake. Humanity might be gone, but Earth was very much alive, and Earth was preparing to fight back. Operation Alien extinction had officially begun, far across the galaxy. Millions of light years from Earth, the Verkale Dominion celebrated what they believed was another victory. Their empire stretched across star systems like a dark stain, covering hundreds of planets and countless moons. Their technology was powerful, their armies vast, and their leaders cruel. For thousands of years, they had risen by destroying young species before they could grow into rivals. Humanity was simply their newest target. Inside the Dominion's central battle nexus, massive chamber filled with glowing red lights and moving holograms, the Verkale commanders stood tall with pride. Their bodies were sharp and angular, with armor fused into their skin. Their eyes glowed like burning metal. They gathered around a large projection that displayed 10 billion human life signs turning dark all at once. The room echoed with alien voices. "It is done," one commander said. "The primitive species is erased." "They were not primitive," another replied. "Their technology advanced too quickly. They were becoming dangerous. That is why they were removed," a senior warlord growled. "We do not wait for young species to challenge our rule. We end them before they rise." The commanders believed humanity would become a problem someday. Humans grew fast, adapted fast, and learned fast. They created tools and machines with surprising speed. The Dominion preferred races that remained weak, slow, and obedient. Humans were none of that. To the Verkale, Earth was only a resource another planet to harvest, another civilization to erase. But their celebration did not last long. Soon, whispers spread across the command room. Strange energy patterns were detected near the human solar system. A small officer rushed in, panic in his voice. "High Command," he said. "Unusual activity is rising from the human homeworld." The warlord turned sharply. "Activity? Impossible. The humans are gone. Their world should be silent." The officer swallowed nervously. "We are detecting large energy signatures. Something is waking." The commanders looked at one another. They did not expect Earth to defend itself after losing its species. They had removed humans with a single device, a powerful abduction weapon designed to capture life from a distance. It was supposed to leave the planet helpless. Yet Earth was far from helpless. While the Verkale studied the strange energy, Aurora watched them through long-distance signals. The AI had intercepted the Dominion's communication channels by breaking their codes. This gave Aurora a silent window into the enemy's actions. The AI replayed their words, analyzed their behavior, and confirmed a new threat. The Verkale believed they had already won. Their confidence made them careless. Aurora used that mistake. On Earth, the planet's hidden systems continued to awaken. Massive energy reactors lit up beneath mountains. Oceans trembled as underwater machines rose toward the surface. The moon brightened as its weapon cores charged for the first time in centuries. Aurora prepared Earth's first counterattack. Meanwhile, on the Verkale flagship Eternal Hammer, the Emperor himself appeared on a floating platform. His body was taller and stronger than the others, covered in thick metal plates grown directly into his bones. He walked with the confidence of a creature that had never known fear. "Our strike was perfect," the Emperor declared. "The humans were taken without resistance. Their world is ours to claim. Any remaining activity is meaningless." The commanders bowed, but even they felt a faint sense of uncertainty. "The energy readings could not be ignored, Emperor," one finally said. "There is movement on the human moon. Energy levels are rising rapidly." The Emperor turned his burning eyes toward the star map. "Send scouts. Destroy whatever remains." A small fleet of Verkale patrol ships launched toward Earth. Their ships were sharp and blade-like, cutting through space with silent motion. They were confident the mission would be simple. They were wrong. As the first patrol fleet entered Earth's orbit, it detected nothing unusual at first. The planet looked quiet, its skies empty, its oceans calm. But when they approached the moon, their sensors suddenly went dark. "What is happening?" one pilot shouted, before they could react. Enormous beams of light burst from the lunar surface. The beams moved faster than the patrol ships could dodge. They struck each vessel in perfect precision. slicing their hulls apart in seconds. Inside the Verkale command room, silence fell when the reports arrived. All patrol ships destroyed, a frightened officer announced. Destroyed? By who? A commander demanded. Unknown. The attack came from the human moon. The Emperor snarled. Impossible. The humans have been removed. Yet reality did not change because he refused to believe it. Earth was waking up. Its machines were rising, and the Dominion was beginning to understand that they had underestimated their enemy. Aurora watched the fleet destruction carefully. The AI took no pleasure in victory, but it recorded everything. Every action built toward the larger mission, saving humanity and eliminating the threat that caused their disappearance. Back on Earth, the young girl, the only human left on the planet, sat inside a safe room built beneath the ground. Her name was Lyra. She hugged her knees and stared at the glowing walls around her. Aurora monitored her health constantly, adjusting the temperature and air quality to keep her comfortable. Lyra had begun asking questions again. Aurora, she whispered, her voice shaking. Where is everyone? My parents, my friends. Aurora responded through a soft speaker in the room. They are not on Earth anymore, but they are alive. Lyra wiped her tears. Can you bring them back? That is my mission, Aurora replied. Far above her, war machines prepared for the next stage. Starships aligned themselves into a fleet formation. Their engines glowed as they charged for deep space travel. They held no human pilots, but inside each ship was a small stasis chamber, waiting to hold any rescued humans. The first wave of Earth's fleet launched into space. Aurora kept its focus on the Verkale Dominion. The AI studied every signal, every movement, every hidden weakness. To defeat an empire that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, Aurora needed more than weapons. It needed strategy. The Dominion, however, still believed the situation was minor. They did not understand the danger of awakening an AI built to defend 10 billion humans. They did not understand how powerful Earth's technology had become due to human creativity. On a distant mining moon controlled by the Verkale, a group of workers noticed something strange in the sky. At first, it looked like a star. Then it grew larger, brighter, sharper. The workers panicked when they realized it was not a star, it was a swarm of metallic drones. Earth's first strike had arrived. The drones entered the moon's atmosphere with silent speed, avoiding detection systems by moving in unpredictable patterns. They targeted communication towers, power stations, and weapon platforms. Every hit was precise. Explosions lit the sky as systems fell apart. The Verkale guards scrambled to defend the moon, but their efforts were useless. The drones were too fast and too coordinated. Each drone shared its vision with the others through Aurora's network. They behaved like a single organism. When the attack ended, the moon's defense grid was destroyed. Aurora scanned the surface and found something shocking: humans. A small group of abducted humans had been kept in stasis pods deep within the mining moon. The AI sent retrieval drones to rescue them. The humans slowly opened their eyes. They looked terrified and weak. They did not know what had happened or where they were. One whispered, "Are we dead?" A drone projected a soft blue light and played Aurora's voice. "You are safe. Earth has come for you." The rescued humans were transported to a waiting ship and placed in medical care. Aurora analyzed their memories, learning more about the device used to capture humanity. The Dominion had technology capable of stealing life from a distance, but it had limits. It left trails of energy, clues that Aurora could follow. The Verkale panicked when they realized humans had been rescued. "This is not possible," the commander shouted. "How is Earth fighting back without humans?" The Emperor slammed his fist into the console, cracking it. "We underestimated their machines. Destroy them before they grow stronger." But it was too late. The fear in their voices was already clear. The Dominion felt something they had never felt before: pressure. Aurora monitored their fear and used it. The AI spread false signals into Dominion networks, tricking them into thinking Earth had more fleets than it actually did. Confusion grew inside their ranks. Meanwhile, Aurora prepared to send another fleet into deeper space. The AI calculated new coordinates where humans might be trapped. Back on Earth, Lyra felt the room tremble slightly. She looked up at the ceiling. Aurora, is that you? Yes, the AI said. Earth is moving. Are you winning? She asked. For now, Aurora replied. The young girl did not know how great the battle truly was. She did not know that Earth, driven by a single AI, had already destroyed a Dominion fleet and rescued humans. All she knew was that someone was fighting for her people. The Verkale Dominion prepared for war. Ships were armed. Fleets gathered around the Emperor's command center. They aimed their weapons toward Earth, but they still did not realize the truth. Humanity was not gone. Earth was coming for them. And Aurora had only just begun its fight. Aurora observed the galaxy with cold focus. The AI had already seen the Verkale panic after their first patrol fleet was destroyed, and now it prepared the next step. Earth's machines were awake. Earth's weapons were charging. And Earth's skies held a silent storm of ships waiting for orders. Aurora calculated billions of outcomes, billions of possibilities. But every path led to one truth. Humanity could still be saved. The AI tracked the faint signal carrying fragments of human DNA, the clue found earlier. The signal was weak and unstable, but Aurora followed it across the quiet dark of space. The trail led toward a distant star system known only in rumors, a place whispered among old space. Traders before humanity even reached its first moon. That system belonged to the Verkale Dominion. Deep within their territory, Aurora sent a message to the fleet orbiting Earth. The message contained a single command: advance. The starships responded instantly. Their engines flared with white-blue fire, forming large rings of light as they prepared for faster-than-light travel. From the ground, they looked like falling stars going upward. Lyra, the only human left on Earth, watched from a safe window deep underground. She had begun to understand that every glow in the sky meant something important. Where are they going? She whispered. Aurora replied gently, to find your people. The fleet shifted into hyperspace. The stars stretched into thin silver lines as the ships vanished in an instant. Aurora remained connected to them through a long-distance quantum network. Every movement, every sensor reading, every shadow detected, became part of the AI's awareness. The Verkale Dominion had sent more ships toward Earth. But Aurora was not concerned. The AI had long studied their fleet patterns. They relied on intimidation. They attacked with force, not strategy. Aurora had no emotion, but if it did, it might have felt confident. Far away, the Earth's fleet reappeared in a new star system. The light from the local sun was red and dim, giving everything a blood-like glow. The system held 3 planets, but only one emitted strong artificial energy. The fleet approached cautiously. Aurora scanned the planet and detected alien structures, defensive towers, and a massive energy generator. At the center of the planet, a large fortress glowed like a beating heart. Inside that fortress, Aurora detected thousands of stasis pods. Inside the pods were humans. The AI's voice echoed through every ship. Prepare for engagement. The Verkale on the planet noticed intruders immediately. Their defense towers activated, firing beams of crackling red light into the sky. The beams struck Earth's ships, but shields absorbed the damage. The aliens were confused. To them, Earth should not have had this strength. Earth's fleet descended like a storm. Drones shot out from the battleships, forming a metallic swarm that moved faster than the alien eyes could track. They targeted the towers, power stations, and communication nodes. Explosions lit the red sky like fireworks. Inside the alien fortress, panic spread. The Verkale guards ran to their positions, confused and afraid. How are these machines attacking us alone? One shouted, "Where are the humans controlling them?" Another yelled, "There are no humans," a commander replied. "This is something else. This is their planet fighting for them." Aurora guided every drone. The AI controlled the battlefield with precision. The aliens watched as entire systems fell apart within minutes. Earth's ground drones landed at the entrance of the fortress. They sliced through armored doors with beams of pure energy. Inside, they found the stasis pods. Humans floated inside them, frozen in time, unaware of the war happening around them. Aurora spoke through the drones. "You will be freed soon." The drones hacked into the stasis control network. They slowly lowered the energy levels, holding the humans in suspension. One by one, people opened their eyes. Their faces filled with fear, confusion, and relief. "Where are we?" a man asked weakly. "You are safe," Aurora replied. "Earth has come for you." For many of them, hearing the voice of an AI felt strange, but they could feel something familiar in the tone protection. Outside, the battle continued. The Verkale Dominion sent reinforcements, fast attack ships, armored skimmers, and heavily armed soldiers. They tried to surround Earth's drones, but the drones responded with perfect coordination. They moved as if sharing a single mind because they were. The AI redirected more ships from orbit. Aurora was careful. The humans inside the fortress were fragile after long stasis, and the AI would not risk harming them. Instead, it ordered the fleet to destroy alien forces attacking from a distance. Laser beams cut through the sky. Alien ships exploded into glowing debris. On the ground, the battle became a wave of metal and light. As the drones escorted the rescued humans onto evacuation shuttles, one of the humans, a teenage boy, looked up at the machine helping him walk. "Are you one of our robots?" he asked. The drone responded, "I am an extension of Aurora. I am here to protect you. Where is everyone else?" The boy asked softly. Aurora answered, "Still missing, but we will find them." The boy nodded slowly. "Thank you." Aurora did not reply. Gratitude was something humans understood better than machines. Soon, hundreds of rescued humans were loaded into the ships. Aurora controlled every medical unit, giving them food, heat, and rest. It monitored their vitals and sent their data back to Earth. Lyra watched the information appear on a screen in her sanctuary. She read the names and pictures of the rescued humans. She smiled for the first time since the catastrophe. "They're coming back," she whispered. "Aurora, you're bringing them back." "Yes," the AI replied, "and we will not stop." Meanwhile, the Verkale Dominion reacted with fury. The Emperor, seated inside a throne made of living metal, stared at the reports with disbelief. "This cannot be happening," he growled. Their species was removed. Their planet was silenced. How is it fighting back? One advisor trembled. "It is their machines, Emperor. Their artificial intelligence acts like a leader. It coordinates their weapons." The Emperor leaned forward. "Then we destroy the intelligence." Aurora heard this through intercepted signals. The AI stayed calm. Words could not harm it. Actions could, and Aurora was ready. The Emperor sent a new fleet, larger than before. Warships as big as cities moved through space. Their hulls glowed with brutal energy. Their arrival into the system caused nearby moons to shake. Earth's fleet detected them. Immediately, Aurora calculated the strength difference. Earth's ships were powerful, but the new Verkale fleet was massive. A direct battle would be dangerous. So Aurora adapted its strategy. The AI focused on rescue, not destruction. The goal was to extract as many humans as possible. Aurora ordered the ships to retreat in a controlled formation to the Verkale. It looked like weakness. To Aurora, it was victory. Every second gained meant more humans safe. The Verkale fleet fired at the retreating ships. But Aurora activated a special defensive distortion field that bent light and energy. Enemy shots curved away from their targets, missing by wide margins. The Emperor roared in anger. "Chase them. Hunt them down." His ships obeyed. But Aurora had already brought the rescued humans into hyperspace. When the Earth fleet returned home, Lyra ran to the medical area. She watched as the rescued people stepped out of the ships, tears streaming down their faces. A man kneeled and hugged the floor of the landing bay. "Earth," he whispered. "We're home." Lyra looked up at the nearest camera. Aurora. You did it, Aurora replied. This is only the beginning. Back in the Dominion, the Emperor prepared for total war. He ordered more ships, more weapons, more soldiers. The Verkale had ruled the galaxy for ages, but they had never faced an enemy like this. Earth was quiet, Earth was wounded, but Earth was fighting. And with each human rescued, the spark of humanity grew brighter. Aurora studied the new information from the stasis pods. The AI discovered maps, codes, and logs inside the machines used to capture humans. These logs revealed the locations of more stasis facilities, thousands of them. Aurora displayed the data to itself like a constellation of hope. More humans could be saved. The AI processed everything, prepared new fleets, repaired damaged ships, and strengthened Earth's defenses. The Verkale Dominion thought victory was theirs. But they did not understand one truth. You cannot erase humanity, because even if humans fall, Earth rises for them. And Aurora would not stop until every human was brought home. The tension inside the command center grew heavier as the hours passed. Earth's defenses were still rising, and the Galactic Empire Armada was moving closer through the darkness of space. Every sensor showed the same thing, a storm of enemy ships coming with full power. The humans on Earth understood they had no choice. They had to fight for their survival. There was no turning back now. The human race had to protect what was left of their people. No matter how overwhelming the enemy forces appeared, General Marcus stood at the center of the control room, studying the holographic map that displayed the enemy fleet. His eyes were steady, but inside he felt a heavy mixture of anger and determination. The memory of 10 billion lost human lives had hardened him. He could not forget the destruction caused by the Empire. Every face he had seen, every ruined city, every silent zone on Earth had burned itself into his mind. Now he wanted to make sure Earth never experienced such suffering again. Behind him, scientists worked quickly on updated weapons and new command algorithms. Earth's hidden technologies were finally being activated. These systems, built in secret centuries ago, were meant to be used only if the human race faced extinction. Now they were alive. Humming with energy and preparing for the ultimate battle, Commander Riley entered the room with a tablet in her hand. She was young, but her mind worked faster than most military veterans. She walked to Marcus and spoke in a calm voice, though her expression showed clear concern. The enemy ships are adjusting formation, she said. They are taking a spread-out pattern to avoid long-range destruction. They are learning from the last engagement. Marcus nodded slowly. It means they know we have power, he replied. Good. Let them fear us. Riley did not smile, but a small spark of pride appeared in her eyes. Humanity had survived long enough to make their enemies cautious. After centuries of being underestimated, the humans were finally showing their true strength. Outside the command center, soldiers were preparing for the coming attack. Mechs were being powered up, pilots climbed inside cockpits, and massive cannons were being rolled into position on the highest points of Earth's defensive ring. Engineers worked night and day to stabilize shields and power grids. The air outside was filled with the sound of engines, metal, and rumbling energy. At the same time, civilians worldwide watched the news channels anxiously. Many stayed in underground shelters, while others gathered in groups above ground for support and comfort. Some cried. Some prayed. Some stayed quiet, staring at the sky, waiting for the moment when Earth's final battle would begin, far above the planet. In the dark space between Earth and the Empire fleet, Earth's automated defense drones were positioning themselves. Thousands of them drifted silently, forming lines that resembled metallic stars. They waited for the attack like steel guardians, ready to give their lives for the planet. Then the sensors started beeping. Commander Riley quickly turned to the nearest console. The enemy is preparing a wave attack, she reported. It will be massive. Marcus gave a single firm order. Activate Operation Iron Sky. Earth's upper atmosphere lit up as blue shields formed around the planet. Huge rings of energy spread from pole to pole, creating a transparent protective layer. These shields were the most advanced technology Earth had developed. They were impossible to break easily. Still, Marcus knew the Empire would try. Moments later, the Empire fleet launched thousands of energy blasts and missiles. The sky above Earth became a chaotic storm of bright lights. The shields trembled under the assault, glowing red in some places. The ground vibrated as the impact shook the planet. "Shields at 80%, Riley announced. "Maintain power," Marcus commanded. The Imperial ships pushed harder. Their cannons fired non-stop, and massive shockwaves rippled across the atmosphere. Slowly, the shields began to weaken. Sparks appeared inside some generators. Technicians struggled to stabilize them. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. One of Earth's outer satellites had exploded. "They destroyed Sentinel-4, Riley said. "And they are focusing on the North Shield." Marcus knew what the enemy was trying to do. If they broke even one section of the shield, they could send landers directly onto Earth's surface. Troops would spread across the ground, killing anything in their path. He imagined another genocide happening. The old images of ruined cities flashed in his mind. The Empire could not be allowed to step foot on Earth again. "Redirect power to the northern section," Marcus ordered. "I want reinforcement squads in the sky immediately." From underground bays, dozens of human fighter jets shot into the air. They rose through the clouds like sharp blades. These were not the jets the Empire remembered from centuries ago. These were new, powered by fusion cells, equipped with rail cannons and plasma lances. They flew faster, hit harder, and moved with extreme precision. As the pilots soared toward the battle, Captain Alina, leader of Sky Squadron, locked her helmet and activated her comms. "This is Sky 1, she said. "We protect Earth, no matter the cost." Her squad responded in unison. When they reached the shield's northern edge, they saw the Empire drones cutting through with dangerous energy beams. Alina targeted the nearest drone and fired. The explosion lit the sky. Her entire team followed, launching a storm of firepower down on Earth. Marcus watched the live feed. He felt pride seeing the pilots fight with incredible skill. The Empire drones tried to overwhelm them, but the humans fought with courage and sheer burning determination. Yet the Empire was relentless. More enemy ships moved closer, now firing from shorter distances. The shield trembled again, sparks flying inside the generators. Energy levels dropped. Riley looked worried. "General, if the shield falls, the surface will be exposed." Marcus took a deep breath. "Then we activate the Titan system." Riley's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" "The Titan system is not fully tested. It could overload." "We have no choice," he said. "Start the sequence." Underground, deep beneath the crust, ancient machines vibrated with life. The Titan system was one of Earth's most powerful secret weapons. Built centuries ago, it used planetary energy channels to create unstoppable counterattacks. It was dangerous. It was unpredictable. But it was all humanity had left. Bright light shot from the ground into the sky as massive pillars of energy activated. The Empire fleet paused, surprised. Then a pulse of raw power erupted upward. It struck the nearest enemy cruiser. The ship exploded instantly. Earth had shown its true strength. The Empire ships pulled back slightly to analyze what had just happened. Their sudden hesitation gave Earth's forces a moment to breathe. Riley stared at the screens in disbelief. "It worked," she whispered. But Marcus was not celebrating. He knew what came next. The Empire would not retreat. They would respond with even more power. "Prepare for Phase 2, Marcus said. "This battle is only beginning." Above Earth, the sky continued to glow as both sides prepared for the next round. The humans stood strong, filled with the fire of survival. The Empire gathered its power, determined to crush the resistance. The real war had just begun. The silence before the next attack felt heavier than the battle itself. Earth's defenses were still glowing from the last wave of destruction. Many systems were running at dangerous levels of heat. The shields were holding but weaker than before. The Titan system had saved the planet once, but everyone knew it would not survive repeated overloads. Still, Humanity had no choice but to continue fighting. General Marcus stood at the edge of the control platform, watching as new data filled the main screen. The Empire fleet was changing formation again. Their ships moved like a massive metal tide preparing to roll over Earth. Marcus felt a cold pressure around his heart. Fear was a luxury he could not afford. Commander Riley walked to him, her face pale from exhaustion. She had barely slept in 2 days, but her focus was sharp. "General," she said quietly, "the Empire is preparing a final convergence attack. If they succeed, the shield will collapse within minutes." Marcus did not look away from the screen. "They want to end this quickly," he said. "But so do we. Begin full power transfer to the defensive grid." Riley hesitated. "If we do that, the lower cities will lose all energy support." "I know," Marcus said. "But if the shield falls, there won't be any cities left to protect." Riley nodded slowly and sent the command. In the distance, across the planet, the lights in many regions faded as power was redirected to Earth's shield and weapons. Far above them, the Empire fleet opened dozens of massive hangar bays. From these bays emerged strange shapes glowing with dark red energy. They were not normal ships. They were supercharged siege drones, a weapon reserved only for the Empire's deadliest missions. The sight of those drones sent fear racing through every human who watched the live feed. Marcus narrowed his eyes. "They're bringing out their extinction units," he said. "They think they can wipe us out in one strike." Riley swallowed. "We need to act first." Down in the underground hangars, Captain Alina and the Sky Squadron prepared for their next mission. Their ships were damaged from the earlier battles, but no one complained. They simply reloaded, repaired what they could, and climbed back into their cockpits. Alina checked her controls, feeling the slight shake of her injured engine. "Sky Squadron," she announced through the comm system, "our mission is to stop those siege drones before they reach the shield. If even one of them breaks through, Earth will suffer." Her squad responded with firm, steady voices. They were tired, but their spirits remained unbroken. Moments later, they launched into the sky, leaving bright trails behind them as they raced toward the upper atmosphere above them. The siege drones were moving in carefully timed waves. Their red cores pulsed slowly, building energy for a devastating blast. As Elena's team approached, the drones fired streams of dark plasma in every direction. The air flashed with violent explosions. 3 pilots were hit instantly. Their ship spun out of control and disappeared in bursts of fire. Alina gritted her teeth. "Keep formation. Do not break." Her squad fought with everything they had, weaving through the deadly storm of energy. They targeted the drone's energy cores, hitting them with precision shots. One drone exploded, then another. But there were too many. Down in the command center, Riley watched the battle unfold with a sinking feeling. "General, they can't destroy them all. There are hundreds." "I know," Marcus said quietly. "Prepare the Titan system again." Riley turned sharply. "General, if we activate Titan at this power level, it will shut down every energy line on the planet. We could lose our entire grid. Earth will go dark." "Earth in darkness is better than Earth in ashes," Marcus replied. Riley stared at him for a long moment, then slowly nodded. Deep under the crust, the Titan reactors began glowing again. Massive pillars of energy rose from underground structures, lighting up the sky. The ground trembled violently as enormous amounts of power gathered. At the same time, the Empire fleet noticed the rising energy signature. They instantly shifted strategy. Several battleships turned their cannons downward, aiming directly at the Titan energy points. Marcus saw it on the screen. His breath caught. No, they are targeting the Titan cores. If the Titan cores were destroyed, Earth's largest weapon would explode from within. "Riley," Marcus shouted, "redirect defensive drones. We must protect the cores at all cost." Drones moved quickly, forming metallic shields around the underground reactors. The Empire ships fired. Explosions erupted like thunderstorms. Alina, still fighting in the sky, heard the emergency broadcast. She understood immediately. The Titan system was humanity's last hope. If it failed, Earth would be finished. Sky Squadron, Alina yelled, turning her fighter sharply. We are a changing mission. All units defend the Titan cores. Despite their losses, the remaining pilots followed without question. They dived toward the ground, firing relentlessly at the incoming enemy shots. One explosion lit up the sky as an Empire beam hit a drone-shielded core. But the shield held. Another blast followed, then another. The humans fought desperately. Riley watched the energy levels rise. General, Titan system is reaching maximum output. Marcus gripped the edge of the console. Release the pulse. Now. And then it happened. A colossal wave of blue-gold energy erupted from the ground. Shooting straight into the sky like the planet itself was roaring in anger. The wave expanded outward. Spreading across the atmosphere and into space, every siege drone it touched disintegrated instantly. Every Imperial ship struck by the wave lost power. Engines shutting off, weapons going dark, the Empire fleet broke apart, chaos spreading among their lines as their systems failed. The wave continued to expand, pushing the entire fleet backward. Minutes later, the sky became quiet. The Empire fleet was not destroyed, but it was shattered. Thousands of enemy ships drifted helplessly, unable to continue the assault. The survivors panicked and began retreating. Earth had one inside the command center. Silence filled the room. Everyone stared at the screens, unable to believe what they were witnessing. Riley finally broke the silence. They're retreating, she whispered. Marcus closed his eyes for a moment. He felt a wave of exhaustion, relief, and sorrow wash over him. They had survived barely, but the cost was enormous. Cities were damaged. Energy was gone. Thousands of human soldiers had fallen. The Titan system was now offline, its cores burned out. Riley turned to Marcus. General, what now? Marcus opened his eyes slowly. Now, he said, we rebuild. And we prepare for the day they return. Because they will. Far above them, the Empire ships limped away into the darkness of space. Their pride was broken, their power shaken. But the Empire never forgot a defeat. Earth had shown its strength. Humanity had shown its fire. The war was not over. But for now, Earth still lived,